And fitness rants. I'm back, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. And welcome to another live edition, guys. The spontaneous edition. No plans to do this live at all. But my man AOH hit me up and, we were going to go live together. And, he couldn't do a live today right now. We couldn't get it linked up. But he got me all pumped and ready to do a live, but he couldn't do it. So I thought I'd do a quick live, maybe for 30, 45 minutes here, and talk about LeBron James not being clutch. Now, I know no one is expecting me to do a live, but once again, guys, I want to thank everyone across the world. Everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. You guys know the deal, man. I am truly, truly humbled by all the support to everyone out there, guys. Like I said, man, this is a spontaneous live edition. Was not planning on doing a live. So, like I said, man, truly humbling. And thank you to everyone out there that supported my channel. Like I said, all the true basketball fans, the people who email me, send me messages, you guys liking my videos, the comments, all that stuff, guys. It truly means a lot, man. You guys know the deal in this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, man. Stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these lives, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to do a live this way. It's a spontaneous live. Me and AOH are going to try to do a live together tomorrow. We were trying to get on a quick live, right now, a spontaneous live, me and him, but we couldn't work it out. Schedules were conflicting right now. But he had me all pumped up and ready to go and do a live. So I was like, let me just go out here and talk to the people, man. Like I said, this was a complete spontaneous thing. I did not plan on doing this. So I know no one's probably even going to, view this or be here right now. Shout out to everybody out here. Yo, the kid, what up, man? Patrick Ewing fan, man. Word, man. Patrick Ewing, like I said, man, the last great New York Knick, man. A true legend of New York, man. Patrick Ewing. Shout out to Clueless. What up, Clueless? Jamar3224. Curtis Ratcliffe, thank you very much, guys, for all your support, man. Like I said, I did not plan on doing this live stream. This is a complete spontaneous thing. The Third Eye, what up, man? Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you guys supporting me, supporting my live streams. Like I said, subscribing to my channel, watching the videos. Real recognized, the true basketball fans have been standing up. Andrew, what's up, man? What's going on? Like I said, I did not plan on doing this live, guys. It's a spontaneous. I just wanted to hit you guys for like a 30, 45 minutes. And talk about LeBron James. And once again, this man is not clutch. He's not clutch. When we talk about what happened last night, let me rant for a little bit here, guys. Like I said, shout out to everyone who came through. This was not a planned or, it wasn't anything that I planned on doing this live stream. So shout out to everyone who's coming through. But when I, watched LeBron James put up these shots last night at the end of the game, and I talked about in the video, they like to celebrate LeBron James and, all these things as one of the most clutch players in the history of the league, guys. And listen, man, LeBron James is not, the least clutch player. Like, to me, he's not James Harden. Like, James Harden is terrible in the clutch, right? I've never said that LeBron James, out of all the players who play in the league, LeBron James is the bottom of all the clutch players in the history of the world. That's not what we've ever said. But when you put him up there with guys like Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryants, as far as clutch ability, Slow-Mo, what up, man? Like, this wasn't a plan live, guys, so thank you for coming through, man. Like I said, and supporting me. So, when they compare him and they make it seem as if he's one of the most clutch players in the history of the NBA, guys, and I do not believe that LeBron James, that's right, Curtis, Luka was wide open. I do not believe that LeBron James is one of the most clutch players in the history of the game. So if we had to narrow it down to the top 5, the top 10 most clutch players in the history of the game, I can't put LeBron James up there with those guys. Now, remember, guys, being a quote-unquote clutch player, Cruz, New York, what up, man? Being a clutch player is not just about scoring baskets, making a shot at the end of a game. That's not what just makes you a clutch player. You can make a clutch defensive stop, right? Joe Dumars was known for making big-time defensive plays. Joe Dumars, who, people don't really mention someone like a Joe Dumars, but one of the elite defenders, but he was known for being a clutch defender, making big-time defensive moments or key defensive stops in key moments. So you can be a clutch performer on the defensive end, making a big-time defensive stop, right? Making a key play. So, being a clutch-time performer is not just about knocking down shots or scoring baskets. at the end of a game. Your leadership can be clutch, right? You can have your team galvanized, prepared, ready mentally. That's being clutch. Understanding, the situation, the time on the clock, the score, the timeouts. What did we see in the 2018 finals with LeBron James and J.R. Smith, Tyronn Lue, right? At the end of that game, no one knew how many timeouts were left, right? No one knew the score, it seemed like. And that's called preparation. That's called leadership. Having your team ready in those moments. I often talk to you guys about J.J. Redick and the Los Angeles Lakers coming out of halftime. Oftentimes, they come out flat. That goes to your leadership, the preparation coming out of halftime, making halftime adjustments, having your team ready, right, coming out of halftime, not being flat. And it seems to me that the Lakers are always coming out of the halftime. Not every game, but a lot of games, they come out flat. They look like not prepared. They look like they didn't make any halftime adjustments. That goes on your leadership. That goes on your head coach, guys. So these are all different ways that you can be quote-unquote clutch. Afro Abe, what up? Howard Williams, Casual Hooper. Thank you all you guys for coming. This was not a planned live stream, man. Me and AOH were going to do something spontaneously, but we ended up not being able to link up. So tomorrow, me and AOH are going to try to hit you guys up with a live together, man. The dynamic duo. But I wanted to jump on here real quick to talk to you guys about last night and the LeBron James talk. And shout out to Howard Hollis, who sent me an email, talking about ESPN, once again, promoting LeBron James as his clutch time performer. And when you look at last night, guys, it's more the same. Now, I do not believe they should have drew the play up for LeBron James, but when you listen to them speak, after the game, J.J. Redick is basically explaining, LeBron James had the hot hand. I hate when they say that LeBron James had the hot hand. He never has that hot hand, so to speak. He's not a shooter. And when you think about the moments, LeBron James mentally is not ready for those moments. That's why he's inconsistent at the ends of games. You can't rely on him at the end of games. I talked in the last video about the feeling that you got when Michael Jordan, raised up for a last-second shot, let's say. Right? There was a certain feeling that came over you. Now, whether you were rooting against the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan, maybe he came to your hometown and, he was going to knock down a shot. So you had a certain feeling. But you always felt that when Michael Jordan went up for that shot, you were like, damn, you expected it to go in. That's what you expected. When LeBron James raises up for these shots at the end of these games, does anyone really expect it to go in or to think it's going to go in? No, if you're a LeBron James fan, if you're a fan of the Lakers and you're rooting for them, then you're hoping it goes in. That's all you have when it comes to LeBron James in these moments. You have hope, right? You have prayers, things of that nature. When you watch Michael Jordan, it's not hope. You hope he misses. That's what you hope. You hope he misses because you know that more often than not, he's going to make that shot in. He's going to shoot it with confidence. That's Michael Jordan. He's always been like that. And in those moments, he gave you that feeling that he was going to make that shot. And I talked about that moment in the 1998 NBA Finals. Yo, Mike Lowry, what's up to all you guys out there, man? Common Sense, what up, man? And I talked about that moment in the 1998 Finals in Game 6, guys. And I talked to you guys about in the freeze frame, when you see that frozen picture of Michael Jordan extending at the end of that shot before it goes through the net. I told you, look at the faces of the people in the crowd, guys. Look at them all. Look at them. Hey, Young Hot Boy, what up, man? Yo, Madden, what up? Look at all the people's faces in the crowd, guys. Look at the Utah Jazz fans. What are they doing? They're holding their mouth. They got their hands on their head. They got their arms crossed because they know it's going in, guys. They know it's going in. They already know. He gave them that feeling, Michael Jordan. Years and years of Michael Jordan coming through in those moments gave the Utah Jazz that feeling, that sense. Like, damn it, we know it's going in. And that's why they had those looks. Remember the kid with the Chicago Bulls jersey I told you guys about? The kid's a legend. Had his hands up in the air. He already knew it was going in. And why did he feel that way? Because Michael Jordan gave him that feeling in those moments. The clutch time performers, you felt that in those moments. So if it's Larry Bird raising up for a shot, or it's Kobe Bryant, just because they have missed more often than not, or they have missed over the last several times, you still had that feeling. LeBron James don't give you that feeling. And LeBron James has missed many, 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 many times in these moments, man. I've seen some stats being thrown out there online about LeBron James and, his percentages, in these moments. And it's horrendous, guys. It's horrendous. The man's taking a lot of these kinds of shots, game-tying shots, game shots to win the games. And he misses a lot, guys. A lot, man. But more importantly, it's at the end of these games, in these moments, that LeBron James starts to do different things. And that's the problem for him. The confidence goes. So let's go back to that 2018 NBA Finals real quick. And let's think about that game one. LeBron James was balling out, guys. The man was balling out. He dropped, 51 points in that game? He was playing a game, LeBron James, right? He was doing his thing. But then what happens? At the end of the game, all of a sudden, LeBron James changed up the MO. This man was doing whatever he wanted to do out there on the court, it looked like. But in the last waning seconds, you decide to dump the ball off to George Hill under the backboard. So once again, you put George Hill in a compromised position. You did not put him in a position to be successful. You gave a 6'1" guy the ball under the rim, literally under the rim, with no place to go. So you put George Hill in a lose-lose situation, essentially. You put all the pressure on George Hill when you're going out there dropping 50 points. It doesn't make any sense. You jump up to the role player in that moment. Like I said, setting him up for failure, not setting him up for success. So at the end of the game, LeBron James changed up the game, changed up what he was doing. All of a sudden now, you don't want the contact. You don't want to go to the free throw line at the end of the games. So your mindset changes at the end of these games. That's inconsistency, guys. Did you guys ever get the sense that the great players at the end of the games, all of a sudden, were different? They changed? That's what makes them great. That's what makes them clutch. Things don't change for them. They don't shrink in the moment. They just continue to do what they normally would do. So yes, sometimes you're going to miss these shots. Sometimes you're going to make those shots. But your mindset should never change, guys. It should never change, right? And that's the problem for LeBron James. His mindset changes based off the scenario, based off the team he's going against, whoever's guarding him. All of these things will change LeBron James' mindset. Meanwhile, guys like Michael Jordan, the Larry Birds, the Magic Johnsons, the Bill Russells, right? The Kobe Bryants, the Tim Duncans, they never get concerned with who's guarding them, the team that they're going against necessarily. That's not going to change their approach or mindset. They're going to have that confidence at the end of the games to go out there and make the right plays and do what's necessary to lead their team to a victory. Another thing that we hear about LeBron James a lot on ESPN and some of the LeBron James fans is that they'll say he always makes the right play at the end of these games. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat that came through. I did not plan this live stream, guys. There was no, warning ahead or anything like that. I just kind of did this on the fly. Much respect to everyone who's come through and supporting me, guys. It means a lot, man. We got Suge Knight. You are my biggest supporter, man. You're always here, and you're talking about Luka Doncic and what he did. I'm gonna get to that because why do you think Luka Doncic looks bad out there, you clown? Because he's playing with LeBron James, you fool. No player in the history of the NBA that's played with LeBron James is a better version of themselves or looks good with LeBron James. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, Anthony Davis, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, no one looks better playing with LeBron James. So you read off Luka Doncic's stats, all you're doing is highlighting LeBron James and how hard it is to play with LeBron James. I told you, someone like Anthony Davis, the Dwayne Wades, all these guys, now Luka Doncic, they have the burden of playing with LeBron James. The burden's on them because LeBron James is not going to make any adjustments. You think LeBron James is going to adjust his game to help Luka Doncic, to help Anthony Davis? No. The man's still going to go out there and chuck up 22 shots like he did last night. The man shot 22 shots. LeBron James took 11 threes last night. 11 threes, guys. The man can't shoot threes. He made 4 of 11. He missed 7 threes last night. 7. And he missed the 2 most important shots because that's the way LeBron James always goes. No matter what he's doing in the game, guys. I told you there's another huge difference between, LeBron James and a lot of the other great, quote-unquote, clutch players in the history of the game. LeBron James, they'll say, oh, he's feeling it. He's having a good game. Like J.J. Redick said in the post game. We drew up the play for LeBron James because he had it going. He was feeling it. So LeBron James was feeling it. He was 4 for 9 from three-point range going into those last 2 shots. 4 for 9. That's not bad at all, right? He's knocking some shots down. The problem for LeBron James is what, though, guys? Like I just mentioned, the mindset changes at the end of these games. So he might be shooting great all game long, but in the last couple seconds, the last minute or so, all of a sudden, LeBron James' hands start getting sweaty. He's got to start doing this stuff. All of a sudden, he don't want to take these shots. He don't shoot the ball with confidence. Look at LeBron James shooting form. It looks terrible. He doesn't practice these jump shots. Why didn't LeBron James do one of those stupid one-legged threes last night? Why he didn't do that shooting, right? Where are the LeBron James fans with the FU3? LeBron James with his stupid one-legged shots. He don't want to do that at the end of games? No, because LeBron James don't be doing those things regularly. He don't work on these things. If he can't drive to the basket, use his shoulder, and try to, score an easy layup, then what has he got? He's got shots during the regular, regular minutes of the game, right? He's one way, but those last couple of seconds, all of a sudden, LeBron James' whole mental changes, man. And like I said, you highlight Luka Doncic and the numbers that he put up, 1 for 9 from 3. Once again, he don't know what to do out there with LeBron James. Like my man Uncut Hoops blessed me earlier with some knowledge about Luka Doncic. He said that Luka Doncic had never scored 16 points or fewer in 3 consecutive games in the history of his career until he plays with LeBron James, guys. This is what happens when you play with LeBron James. So at the end of these games, they drew up a play for LeBron James, not Luka Doncic. Is that helping Luka Doncic get ingratiated onto the Lakers? Why not draw up the play for Luka Doncic in that moment? LeBron James been in the league 22 years. This man's been bricking up shots for 22 seasons. You want to go out there and draw up a play for him and let him continue to keep chucking up bricks? What are we doing here? Give Luka Doncic a chance. Let him take a couple of shots at the end of the game. Regardless, win or lose, it's the Charlotte Hornets, man. These fools can't go out there and beat the Charlotte Hornets handedly. They need a last-second heave. Jordan for Luka Doncic, man. LeBron James not only had 1 shot, guys, he had 2 shots at the end of that game. And to me, oftentimes I feel like for players, like when you don't have a chance to think about the shot, like you're just kind of shooting it, you have a better chance of making it, right? You're kind of just going through your reflexes, right? You're just kind of shooting. You're not thinking about it. And that second shot, LeBron James didn't have time to think about it, size his shot, but nothing. Gabe Vincent got the rebound, kicked it back out to LeBron James, and he just let it fly. So you would have thought in that moment, the second time around, the man still bricked it off by a mile. Yo, shout out to the lowly one coming through, man. Yo, the lowly one, you always bless my channel, man. You always bless the live streams. I am truly, truly humble, man. Thank you very much again. He leaves a super chat. He says, Uncommon Sense nailed it about LeBron in a video he did a while back. If the same thing keeps happening over and over again, you are the problem. Yo, once again, shout out to the lowly one. Shout out to Uncommon Sense. I know a lot of you guys probably know Uncommon Sense, man. He's been doing great work. I mean, the dude's blown up, man. So shout out to Uncommon Sense. And the lowly one, right on the money. Uncommon Sense hit it right on the head. The common denominator here is always LeBron James, guys. Always. So what did you see the LeBron James do in the comment section there? The LeBron James fan did what all LeBron James fans do, what the media does. They're already blaming Luka Doncic. He's talking about, oh, Luka Doncic 1 for 9 and had 14 points. You ain't going to talk about that, though. You're blaming Luka Doncic when LeBron James is supposed to be the guy who maximizes all of his teammates. You guys keep telling us how great Scottie Pippen was. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Scottie Pippen is remembered that way? Because he played with Michael Jordan, you goofs. No one's remembered for being great playing with LeBron James. You play with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade's trash. Anthony Davis trash, right? Kyrie Irving never won anything without LeBron James. Everyone's trash without LeBron James. They play with LeBron James, they're trash. He needs more help. He leaves, what happens? Oh, look at LeBron James. He leaves the team and they all fall apart. No, what happens is the organizations bend over backwards. They build a team around LeBron James. And then when he leaves, the team is built around him. How the hell are you supposed to be successful when the team that you spent all your draft picks, trades, free agents, building all this team around a certain player, that player leaves and the team's supposed to be successful? Doesn't make any sense, guys. That's LeBron James fans already looking to blame Luka Doncic when Luka Doncic is, once again, has the burden of playing with LeBron James. When is LeBron James going to make the sacrifice for another player? When's he going to make that sacrifice? When's he going to allow someone else to take the reins? I told you, Anthony Davis this year was leading the Lakers in field goal attempts for the first time, guys, since he's been in LA with LeBron James. But all of a sudden, LeBron James wasn't trying to hear that, right? Anthony Davis, I believe, was taking 18 shots on average. LeBron James was taking 16 the first month and a half or so of the season. You guys saw the pace Anthony Davis was on. The man was literally an MVP candidate the first month of the season. He was top 5 in scoring, top 5 in rebounds. I mean, the man was top 5 in block shots. He was doing it all out there for the Lakers the first month and a half season. He was an MVP candidate. And then all of a sudden, LeBron James started going out there jacking up 20, 22 shots a game. And then all of a sudden, Anthony Davis and LeBron James were both taking 18 shots a game. And that was a problem for the Lakers. For someone like Anthony Davis, once again, playing with LeBron James, the burden is on him. So not only does Anthony Davis have to do what he does offensively, he had to carry LeBron James defensively. So when we think about that word clutch, and we talk about LeBron James, I'm telling you guys, LeBron James is nowhere near top 5 or top 10 most clutch players in the history of the NBA. Once again, these players being quote-unquote more clutch than LeBron James doesn't necessarily mean they have to be greater all time than LeBron James. So if I told you Sam Jones, who played with Bill Russell on those legendary Celtics teams, right? Sam Jones. If I say that Sam Jones was more clutch than LeBron James, remember, his nickname was actually Mr. Clutch before Jerry West. So if I say a statement that Sam Jones is more clutch than LeBron James, I'm not saying that Sam Jones is a greater overall player than LeBron James, but in those moments, if you need a shot, someone to step up, Sam Jones was known for doing that. That was what he was known for doing. He literally developed a reputation knocking down big-time shots, big-time plays, in big-time moments for the Boston Celtics, right? So when we talk about guys like Michael Jordan, we talk about guys like Kobe Bryant, even someone like Tim Duncan, to me, is more clutch than LeBron James, because I told you, it's not just about knocking down jump shots or scoring the ball. Tim Duncan was clutch with his leadership. He was clutch with his defense, right? And yes, Tim Duncan was clutch with his fundamentals, right? He could make a shot at the end of these games, a big-time defensive stop, get his team galvanized. So these are the kinds of things that we're talking about. You're a clutch player. It's not just, oh, Tim Duncan hit game winners. No, it's Tim Duncan had his team prepared. He had these guys ready. He made defensive plays, right? He bailed out guys like Tony Parker on the back end. If they blew an assignment, they knew they had Tim Duncan behind them. That's being a clutch time performer, man. Once again, Magic Johnson being a leader of the way he was to galvanize the players around him, right? Think about Magic Johnson as a rookie stepping up when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar went down. Did LeBron James ever do anything like that in NBA Finals? Anything close to what Magic Johnson did as a rookie, guys? No. In fact, what do we hear from the LeBron James side of things? Oh, in 2007, the reason why, LeBron James couldn't win is because he was too young. He was only 22 years old in 2007. How could you expect LeBron James to win those finals? I'm pretty sure Magic Johnson was 20 years old in his first NBA Finals as a rookie, and no one made an excuse for Magic Johnson. Did anyone make an excuse for him? No one made an excuse for him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar went down. You're a rookie, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goes down. And you step in and do your thing, scoring, rebounding the ball, galvanizing the team as a rookie, man. There's no excuses, man. There's no excuses. Magic Johnson, give me Magic Johnson in any kind of tight game or close game or big-time moment. I'm taking Magic Johnson over LeBron James. Once again, it's not about the Magic Johnson getting his shot up, but I guarantee you Magic Johnson's going to get somebody a good shot. So maybe his team, he's not going to win the game necessarily off a game-tying shot or a game-winning shot, but maybe he'll get the ball to Kareem for a game-tying shot. Maybe he'll make a great pass to James Worthy or Byron Scott or AC Green or any of these guys. Someone's going to get helped out because Magic Johnson helps his teammates. That's what he did out there. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Chip Ferguson, what's good, man? Yo, Delano, Dolberry, what up, guys? Yo, thank you to all you guys for coming through this live stream that I just did on the fly, man, spontaneous. There's no way in hell you could sell me that LeBron James is one of the most clutch players. And ESPN continues to pump these narratives of clutch play. LeBron James making the right calls. Yo, G24Ds, what up, man? Thank you very much. Yo, I tried to hit some of you guys off and give you guys the ability to be moderators on my live streams because you guys always come through, man. So if I always see you guys coming through my lives and, like I said, man, always hit me up and things of that nature, I try to give you guys a little bit more access to help me out with some of these fools sometimes in the chat. So shout out to all you guys, man, like I said, who always come through, man. But you guys know the deal, man. These are the facts, man. So I'll take those guys. You guys know someone like Larry Bird. I'm definitely taking over LeBron James. And once again, we know that Larry Bird is one of the most clutch shooters in the history of the game. But once again, Larry Bird was known for being a high IQ guy, a true competitor out there, Larry Bird. Give me Larry Bird in these moments, and I'll say that Larry Bird is going to make the right play more often than LeBron James is. Larry Bird, come on, man. And think about the players that Larry Bird helped to become greater. I love Robert Parrish, great player, but he never made an all-star team on the Golden State Warriors before he came to the Celtics. Once again, I'm not saying that Robert Parrish is not a great player without Larry Bird, but when you think about how players became better around someone like Larry Bird, they actually were better with Larry Bird. Right? The great players, they raise up the guys around them. I mean, think about it. If you're playing street ball, guys, you guys know the deal. If there's one guy on the court who's really good, right, and he's out there, and you're out there on his team, It makes the game easier for you, doesn't it? Playing with someone who's really good makes the game of basketball a lot easier for you because the good players know how to get everyone else involved and they know what they need to do to help them because they're better than us. They have skills and they have these things that other people can't do. So I always tell you the burden's on the star player to, mold their game, to make the adjustments. It's on them. It's on the star player to make the adjustments, to sacrifice so that the other guys around them could feel comfortable and have a role. For someone like LeBron James, he's never, ever done that for his teammates. So I tell you guys the same line over and over again. LeBron James does not help his teammates help him. He won't allow them to help him. So what he does, he forces them to play a certain way. And then when things don't go right, they say, oh, LeBron James out here carrying these guys. Oh, LeBron James needs more help. And then they'll point to like the guy did earlier. They'll point to someone's numbers and say, oh, look what this guy did in the finals. Oh, this guy was averaging X, Y, Z. But why were they averaging that? Because LeBron James, he won't sacrifice for them. I don't get it. How can the players playing around LeBron James average X, Y, Z or do X, Y, Z for LeBron James when the man's always got the ball in his hands? When he refused to take a back seat, when he's taking 20 shots a game and not playing in an actual system. When you think about Michael Jordan, guys, the man took 23 shots a game for his career. The problem or the difference between what LeBron James does and what Michael Jordan, a lot of great scorers who played in systems, they played in a system. Michael Jordan wasn't just taking shots whenever he wanted to. His shots came in the flow of the offense more often than not, guys. So when your scoring is coming in the flow of the offense, what does that mean? That means that other players are getting involved. Scottie Pippen's touching the basketball, right? Horace Grant's touching the ball. Bill Cartwright's touching the ball. B.J. Armstrong, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper, Luke Longley, Bill Wennington, Scott Burrell, whoever's in there running the offense in the triangle, you're all touching the ball. Everyone's involved. Everyone's a contributor. Everyone has a role, guys. Those are the facts. That's called being clutch, giving your team a role. Think about that. Michael Jordan, the other great players, they understood winning, they understood competitiveness, and they understood what they had to sacrifice for those wins. I mean, think about it. LeBron James, 22 years in the league. You still haven't figured this out, dude? You haven't figured out to sacrifice for your teammates, to play in a system, to be coachable? The man's been through more coaches in L.A. I don't even know, then who else? Then who? I mean, was it 4 coaches in LA? So you've been in LA for what, 7, 8 years now? Not even, what is this? I think this is his 7th season, I believe, in Los Angeles, right? So this is his 7th year. You got 4 coaches? 4 coaches. That's insane, guys. Insane. But he's clutch. Yo, shout out to all you guys. J-Town. Yo, Ivan, what up? Blood Fox. Thank you very much, guys. That's right. That's right, Chip Ferguson. Magic called Showtime winning time. I did a video a while ago back, and I talked about how, winning time was Michael Jordan time, was the time for a lot of the great players. You remember Reggie Miller time? It wasn't about grabbing a cold beer. It was Miller time. At the end of these games, Reggie Miller was known. He had a reputation for knocking down shots in key moments. That's why it was called Miller time. So at the end of games, Reggie Miller, especially if you're a New York Knicks fan, you didn't want to see Reggie Miller out there taking shots at the end of that game. You don't want to see that. And why? Once again, it goes back to the feeling that Reggie Miller gave us as fans growing up watching Reggie Miller, right? So once again, I'm not saying that Reggie Miller's greater than LeBron James all time, but to me, Reggie Miller was more clutch than LeBron James. If in those moments they were to droop a play for Reggie Miller last night, let's say, and they kick it to Reggie Miller and he's wide open, LeBron James was wide open at the top of the key last night, guys, wide open, man. If Reggie Miller had a shot like that and he was raising up for a shot, I'm going to assume that Reggie Miller's making the shot more often than LeBron James is, guys, easily. Once again, that's the feeling I got from Reggie Miller, who can actually shoot the basketball. So I wouldn't want Reggie Miller shooting the ball in those opportunities as a defender or as a fan of the opposite team. I would be scared and nervous. Like, damn it, man, how we let Reggie Miller get open for a shot? But when you see LeBron James doing that, raising up for a shot at the end of the game, you're laughing like, they really let this dude take this shot? Once again, was any LA Laker fan that was watching this game last night or in the arena last night, did you really believe that LeBron James was going to make that shot when he rose up for it, guys? No one thought that. No one thought that. No one got that feeling. Yeah, Renee 43, you're right on the money about Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller has sold out as far as broadcasting. He's one of the worst broadcasters in the history of the NBA, man, that I've heard. This guy's terrible. But we can't deny what Reggie Miller did as a basketball player in the golden era. He was one of the true competitors, and that's why, like you say, Renee, it's really sad to hear someone like Reggie Miller talk now because, dude, you play in the golden era. You were a competitor, man. Reggie Miller battled with Michael Jordan. He battled against the New York Knicks. He battled against the Miami Heat. I mean, I got a lot of respect for those guys, the players in those eras, man. Reggie Miller went out there and like I said, laid it on the line. He was a true warrior, and now you're out here saying nonsense. And the sad reality is for a lot of these guys, the Reggie Millers, even when we heard Gary Payton say what he said about LeBron James being a better dribbler than Michael Jordan, I mean, it's asinine. All these guys are really doing is knocking themselves. And that's the sad reality here. Gary Payton saying all this stuff about Michael Jordan or saying this about that or Reggie Miller saying this. Dude, you guys are knocking your own era. You guys are tearing down your own era. For what? For money? For some views? I don't get it. You sold your integrity for nothing. When you guys played in the golden era, you guys uplifted the sport. So why would you let these people come out here and tear down your era? I don't get it. Why do we have to stand up for you guys? But you guys out here trashing your own era? I'm baffled by this. You know, when you hear the guys from today talk, what do they say? You hear them say, I'm the greatest rebounder of all time. Andre Drummond says he's the greatest rebounder in NBA's history. Draymond Green thinks he's the greatest defender in NBA's history. Right? This is what you hear from these guys. Everyone thinks they're the greatest of all time and everything. LeBron James thinks he's the greatest of all time. So I don't understand. Where's the humility from these guys? There is none. Yo, hit him. What's up, man? That's right. When you talk about Chip Ferguson, you mentioned Pistol Pete out there. Pistol Pete, you think about when they talk about LeBron James as a passing prowess. He can't stand Pistol Pete play making, passing the ball, man. Pistol Pete was a legit wizard with the basketball. This man, they said that this man used to dribble the basketball in a car. He would be in the car in the backseat as a kid, and he would dribble the basketball outside the car window while the car's driving. They said he used to dribble the ball everywhere. He would go to the movie theaters. He would be dribbling on the seats in the movie theater, dribbling on the seats, guys. This is the ball control that Pistol Pete developed with all these drills. Have you guys seen the drills, the dribbling drills that Pistol Pete was doing from a young age, guys? From a young age, the man was putting in the work. He was a wizard out there, Pistol Pete Maravich. Once again, I'm not saying he's all-time greater than LeBron James, but what I'm telling you right now is playmaking, dribbling the basketball, passing-wise, LeBron James can't shine Pistol Pete's shoes, man. He don't have the creativity of a Pistol Pete Maravich. Like I said, Pistol Pete Maravich, people can say he didn't win. We get all that. He didn't play for a bunch of great teams. He was never a quote-unquote winner. But the man was a magician with the basketball, man. He truly, truly worked on his craft. The dude put the work in. He used to do dribbling drills. I mean, he really cared and loved the game of basketball. All he did was dribble the ball everywhere he went, man. That's a love of the game. That's how he became that, adept with the dribbling and all these things he could do. I mean, my God, man, it's insane. Like I said, and shout out to Andrew, Muzak. I'm sorry if I messed your name up. Music. Like you said, Pistol Pete would destroy this era. I mean, think about what these guys were doing in those eras under those harsher conditions. Pistol Pete was a wizard, guys. When you couldn't carry the ball like that, you couldn't put your palm under the ball like that. Go watch Pistol Pete dribbling the basketball. The man literally has the hand on top of the basketball. I mean, guys, it's crazy when you watch the videos and you see what these guys could do under those kinds of, stringent enforcement of the rules. I told you, these guys were great under those strict enforcement of the rules. That's why, to me, you can't say that these guys are more skilled today. If you want to tell me they're just as skilled as the guys back in the day, whatever, we can argue at that. But don't tell me they're more skilled. They can't be more skilled when the rules have been less and the standards been lowered. That's why I said if these guys are that skilled and that great, then they should be raising the standard for these guys, not lowering it. I mean, Bob Cousy should have been playing under these kinds of rules. They should have allowed Bob Cousy to carry the ball and do all this crazy stuff because they were pioneers. They were just learning how to play basketball back in them days. Remember, who did they have to study, guys? They had no one to study. They're the pioneers. I don't understand how we can't respect the pioneers of the game. Like I told you guys, there's no Michael Jordan without Dr. J. There's no Dr. J without Elgin Baylor, guys. So once again, this is what we're talking about, the lineage of the game, the history of the game, the greats that they're standing on. You can't learn anything if these guys were crappy. If Elgin Baylor was garbage and couldn't do anything out there, then how would Dr. J get the vision? How would he get the idea, the creativity to do some of this stuff? He had to see Elgin Baylor and be like, you know what? I just saw him do this. I didn't even think you could do that in the basketball court. Remember Allen Iverson said that Michael Jordan gave me the vision. The vision. LeBron James ain't gave no one the vision. Who would he inspire? We talked about this. Not a damn person. So at the end of these games, LeBron James ain't one of the clutch performers. I'm not going LeBron James at the end of one of these games, but ESPN will tell you that he's a clutch time performer because he hit some game winners. You're going to hit some game winners when you take a billion shots. But look how many he missed, guys. He missed a lot, guys, a lot. And once again, it's the feeling you get because it's not just a shooting. How many times LeBron James turn the ball over at the end of these games? Make a dumb pass, a bonehead play, and they'll cover it up. Oh, LeBron James was making the right play. That's how they cover it up for him. They excuse his failures. So it ain't just missing shots. He's turning the ball over. He's stumbling and bumbling out there, not having any leadership. He's walking off the court early. How do you galvanize your team at the end of games when you're walking into the locker room? It don't make no sense. I'm supposed to respect that, though. I'm supposed to put you in up there with some of the all-time most clutch performers in the history of the game, guys. Absolutely not. It's not the truth. It's not the facts. Yo, shout out to all you guys. Like I said, thank you very much, guys, for you guys came through on the live stream. Like I said, this was a spontaneous live stream. I just had some stuff I want to get off my chest. I'm tired of people putting LeBron James in this, most clutch category. He's not up there with those guys. He's not. Nowhere near Michael Jordan. Nowhere near Kobe Bryant. Nowhere near Larry Bird. Nowhere near Magic Johnson. Nowhere near a Tim Duncan or a Jerry West, a Sam Jones. I saw someone out there throw Robert Horry's name out. Once again, when you think about these moments, we're not saying Robert Horry's greater all time than LeBron James. That would be stupid. But what we're saying is in those moments, who's more clutch? Who's been able to knock down shots? If we're thinking about knocking shots down, would you want Robert Horry shooting a shot? Or are you going to draw up a play for Robert Horry? How about someone like Derek Fisher? Would you draw up a play for Derek Fisher instead of LeBron James? If we think about that moment in time with Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc, no one's going to argue that Tony Kukoc is a greater player all time than LeBron James. No one's going to argue that. But what did Phil Jackson decide in that moment? And what did he realize in that moment? And what a lot of other guys in the Chicago Bulls realized is that in those moments, Tony Kukoc was more clutch than Scottie Pippen was. So they went with Tony Kukoc. I mean, guys, it wasn't just that game against the Knicks. Tony Kukoc hit several game winners in 94 and 95 with all the Bulls in general because he was known for being a clutch shooter like that, more so than a Scottie Pippen. So they went with the route of Tony Kukoc. The same thing with some of these guys at the end of games. They'll draw up a play for some of those guys. Not LeBron James. But when Michael Jordan was there, the play was always drawn up for Michael Jordan because he had that reputation more often than not. Yo, shout out to Stebby J. He comes through with the super chat. He says, he inspired people to flop. That's right, Stebby J. He inspired people to flop. This is how he inspired the NBA, right? He inspired them to not do the slam dunk contest, right? That's what he inspired them to do. Yeah, he inspired them to, like I said, flop around, to walk off the court early, right? To not shake hands. This is how he's inspiring you. So now what do you see a lot of these young kids doing? They out there flopping, right? We've talked about some of this stuff. LeBron James ain't inspiring anyone out there to be better versions of themselves. He hasn't inspired people out there like some of the other all-time greats did. My man, Sadim Basim. He says, Bron, okay, because you know LeBron James personally. Bron went to the finals 9 times, bro. He actually went to the finals 10 times, you goof. You don't even realize how many times LeBron James went to the finals. He's 4 and 6 in the finals, you idiot. So what does that have to do with anything? Jerry West went to the finals a bunch of times too. Did he not? And Jerry West had to stack up a super team and stack up all these trades and free agents to get to the finals, my man. So what are you talking about? You guys, I don't understand what you're talking about. He went to the finals. He went to the finals and lost. And once again, you tell me who he beat en route to the finals. Name them. Name the teams. Who are you going to name? Paul George, Roy Hibbert Pacers? You're going to tell me the Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan Raptors? Or are you going to tell me the Paul Millsap, Kyle Korver, Jeff Teague Hawks? Who did he beat? The Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire Knicks? None of these teams are formidable. None of these teams were great teams. None of these teams are legendary teams. None of these teams. Who did he beat? You can't name a single team that LeBron James beat en route to the finals to get there. Beat no one. LeBron James wouldn't sniff getting past the Knicks in 92 or the Knicks in 93. He wouldn't even get past the Cleveland Cavaliers in 92. He wouldn't get past a lot of these teams. The Miami Heat in 97. How about the Orlando Magic in 96? Is LeBron James beating a Shaq and Penny-led team? I don't know because LeBron James folds up so much. You don't even know, man. Who's he beating out there? Once again, nobody. He ain't beating the 98 Pacers in the Eastern Conference. He ain't facing none of those teams in the Eastern Conference that I just read off. And once again, these guys, these teams were being led by legends. Legends, man. When we think about Michael Jordan first coming in the league, I tell you guys, steel sharpens steel. You're going against Larry Bird and the legendary Celtics. You're going against Isaiah Thomas and the legendary Detroit Pistons. You're going against Sidney Moncrief and a tough Milwaukee Bucks team. You got to deal with the Sixers with Charles Barkley and Dr. J and Moses Malone. I mean, my goodness, guys, all of these teams that were there. You're dealing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had 3 All-Stars at any given year with guys like Larry Nance and Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, right? So many teams. Like I said, I mentioned the New York Knicks. We mentioned all these teams. The Atlanta Hawks with Dominique Wilkins, Kevin Willis, Spud Webb. I mean, my God, there were so many teams, guys. Right? We mentioned the Indiana Pacers. So many teams. I mean, LeBron James ain't have none of that competition in his conference. That's just the conference. So the Bulls were battle-tested champions, guys. So I don't want to hear about, LeBron James went to 9 or he went to 10 finals. The dude lost 6 times, even though he stacked the odds in his favor. Jerry West lost, and without having the odds in his favor. He was going against the Boston Celtics legendary team, man. The man made no excuses, still went out there, man. You guys know the deal. Hayden Phoenix, what's up, man? That's right, LeBron James was swept in 3 different decades, man. The dude was swept in the finals multiple times. And why was he swept? Let's think about 2018 yet again. Let's go back to 2018 again, game 1. That was a game. LeBron James should have won that game, right? Should have won that game, but what do you have Nick Wright tell you? Nick Wright will say that's the greatest performance in NBA Finals history because LeBron James had 51 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. His team lost, my man, but they'll celebrate LeBron James losing because that's his standard, right? His standard is mediocrity, guys, and Nick Wright would say it's the greatest performance. That's the greatest performance. Not Elgin Baylor's 61 in the finals. That wasn't a great performance. Not Michael Jordan's, the performance he put on in the 1993 finals. When the man averaged 41. Average 41. Hey, what do you have, 4 straight games of 40 or more? But Nick Wright will tell you, LeBron James in a loss, that was the greatest finals performance of all time, even though he dropped the ball to George Hill at the end of the game because he was a coward. I'm confused here. See, mediocrity, guys. This is what they celebrate for LeBron James. They lower the standard for LeBron James. That would never be Michael Jordan. He's held to a higher standard. Oh, I thought I saw a super chat come through here. Yo, shout out to Black Jesus. What up, man? Thank you so much, man. Terry Moore, Bernard King. Yo, Armageddon. That's right. LeBron don't have one dynasty. Think about that. Armageddon. Great point, man. LeBron don't got one dynasty. Think about it. This guy said Bron will cook all them teams, bro. He'll cook all them teams. He couldn't even cook the old-ass Boston Celtics, but he's going to cook all those teams. You sound once again, you sound ridiculous. He couldn't even beat Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic. Hedo Turkoglu was destroying LeBron James, destroying him. But he's going to stop those teams? Once again, you sound ridiculous. I did go make a video right now. Oh, shout out to Millhouse, never mind, comes through. He says, Robin is always here giving facts and effort, not load managing. Mad respect from the Czech Republic. Yo, shout out to everybody in the Czech Republic. Thank you very much, Millhouse, never mind. I'm truly humbled you came through with a super chat, and I always try to give you guys the facts. I know I get a little crazy out here, guys. I know sometimes we don't agree on everything, but I always try to give you guys the effort. I always try to give you guys the energy, man. No load management on my end. That's not the generation I grew up in. I will never allow myself to be that kind of person. You guys know what we stand on over here in this channel. The honor, the class, the integrity, so that you earn the respect from the people around you. So thank you very much to Millhouse, never mind. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I thought I saw somebody else in here come through. Oh, of course, Rise Above Anything, who always continues to support my channel. He says LeBron never even three-peated. SMH. That's right. These are the kinds of things that we talk about. I mean, think about Michael Jordan's three-peat, guys. They literally downplay Michael Jordan's three-peat. They downplayed so much, they don't even talk about it. So they'll just say, oh, Michael Jordan's 6-0 because he didn't beat anybody. No, Michael Jordan's not 6-0. He has 2 three-peats, guys. 2 three-peats. Let me know when someone else can sniff that. Can't sniff it. I mean, think about it. It took Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal to have 1 three-peat. You're talking about arguably 2 top 10 players in NBA's history on one team to win a three-peat. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan did that with Scottie Pippen. Is Scottie Pippen anywhere close to a top 5, top 10 player in NBA's history? Nowhere close to that. You can argue Shaq. You can argue Kobe. Can't argue Scottie Pippen. This is what Michael Jordan was doing three-peats with. It's crazy, guys. I mean, think about the team that Bill Russell had to win his 3 in a row. Right? Think about it. The Bill Russell team. You have Bill Russell, who we know is crazy, but then you have Bob Cousy, who's an MVP winner, one of the great point guards of that time, probably the greatest point guard of his era, right? Up until that point, who was it? Like, he was replaced by guys like Oscar Robertson. But Bob Cousy was the man. But you had a lot of guys like Bill Sharman. You had guys like Tommy Heinsohn. We all know about the legendary John Havlicek. Also, guys like Sam Jones, who, like I mentioned, came through with clutch baskets. All of those players to win those championships. Michael Jordan did 2 3-peats with guys like Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, who are really good players, great players. But once again, offensively, Michael Jordan had to carry these teams, guys. And those are the facts, man. That's right, Black Jesus, Dwight Howard, Cook, LeBron James. And what's funny about that series is, don't they tell us that LeBron James could guard 1 through 5? So why didn't LeBron James guard Dwight Howard? Because he can't guard 1 through 5. He can't sniff guarding Dwight Howard or Patrick Ewing. Could you imagine LeBron James trying to guard Patrick Ewing in the 90s? Could you imagine LeBron James trying to guard Hakeem Olajuwon in the 90s, guys? Or guard David Robinson? Or guard Shaquille O'Neal? Or Dikembe Mutombo? Or Alonzo Mourning? Or any of these legit centers? He would get destroyed by these guys. They would be bodying him. He wouldn't be able to guard Karl Malone or Charles Barkley, even though he's bigger than Charles Barkley. He couldn't guard these guys in the post. Are you kidding me? LeBron James soft, man. He would have flopped like a crazy dude out there. He would have been rolling around, grabbing his head. Karl Malone would hit him with one of those elbows. It would have been over. It would have been over, guys. Over. He wouldn't even be able to guard someone like Xavier McDaniel. These guys are too crazy and too physical. They're too violent. The game was violent, guys. I thought I saw another super. Forgive me, guys, if I missed you, man. I'm sorry. I ramble on, man. And sometimes I miss you guys, and it really pisses me off when I miss you guys. LT coming through with the super chat. Didn't leave a mess or anything, but thank you very much, LT, for coming through. I'm truly humbled, man. You guys, like I said, you guys support my channel, man. It means a lot, guys. I know that money is very hard to come by for a lot of us. I tell you guys all the time, I live check to check, guys. So thank you very much. Anyone who donates to my channel, man. We got one from SC. Imagine Jason Terry outscoring MJ. LOL. What level rings? What go-to move? What's LeBron James' go-to move? Another great point by SC. Thank you for coming through with the super. And you made a great point here when you talk about the go-to move of LeBron James, or lack of a go-to move. So this hurts LeBron James at the end of these games. This is part of the reason why LeBron James will never be, to me, one of the most clutch players in the history of the game. A top 5, a top 10 most clutch performer. He'll never be that, because having a go-to move helps you in those moments. But also being coachable and allowing your teammates to shine. So when we think about the 1993 NBA Finals, and you'll hear the LeBron James fans say what? Oh, John Paxson saved Michael Jordan. Now, the true basketball fans know that's not the reality. That's not what really happened. But if we look into that game in that moment, it was Michael Jordan who scored all the points for the Chicago Bulls in the fourth quarter of that game, guys. Go back and watch the fourth quarter of that game 6. Scottie Pippen couldn't score. Horace Grant couldn't score. Bill Cartwright. No one could score but Michael Jordan. The Bulls scored 12 points in that quarter. Michael Jordan scored 9 of them, guys. And the other 3 came from John Paxson's shot. So in that moment, they used Michael Jordan as a decoy. So what do you remember on that play? If you guys remember, they inbounded to Jordan. Jordan comes up the middle of the court and makes a whip pass to Pippen, who makes a pass to Grant, who kicks out to Paxson. So they used Michael Jordan as a decoy there in that moment because he had it going. He scored all the points for the Bulls. So they assumed that Michael Jordan was going to get it. It threw the Suns completely off, guys. And he allowed John Paxson to have his moment. He let John Paxson have that moment because he's a team player. And it's all about winning. It's not about the numbers or him getting the shine, the credit. It's about winning. So he could have easily been like, well, hold on, I'm taking this shot. I've scored all the points in the fourth quarter. I don't trust this guy. Let me do it. But instead, he understood what was going on and sacrificed for someone like John Paxson to have that moment. Yeah, I'm so surprised how many of you guys have come to the live stream. Like I said, this was a spontaneous thing. I didn't plan it. Tomorrow, me and AOH are hoping to hit you guys with another live stream. So thank you so much, guys, for coming through. I'm going to keep it going for another maybe 15 minutes, and then I got to get ready. I got to do some things over here. Rise Above Anything comes through again. Thank you very much, Rise Above Anything. Like I said, one of the true supporters of my channel. And he says, LeBron has had way more help than MJ, SMH. And Rise Above Anything, it's not even close, guys. When we talk about the level of help that Michael Jordan has had in his career, guys, it's not even close, man. Not even close. And the sad reality, guys, is what we talk about. Let's say LeBron James was 8-2 in the NBA Finals. Let's say he won 8-2 in the NBA Finals. Impressive as hell. 8 championships, right? 2 losses on his resume. What that would highlight or what that would take is for LeBron James to make sacrifices. So if LeBron James won 8 championships, he would probably only be the Finals MVP of maybe 4 or 5 of those. Maybe 4 or 5 of them. The same things that I've said for someone like Bill Russell. Bill Russell's great. We all know that. He's a greatest of all time candidate. But they won 11 championships. You can't tell me that all those 11 championships were all on Bill Russell. They weren't all on him. So you've heard people say that maybe Sam Jones wins a couple of those MVPs. Maybe John Havlicek does. Maybe Bob Cousy wins one. Maybe Tommy Heinsohn. You don't know. They were great players that were making plays in these games, in these championships. And why was that? Because Bill Russell sacrificed. He was a team player, but he also raised the level of his teammates. So they were better versions of themselves because of someone like Bill Russell, right? Not despite him. So same thing with LeBron James. If he went 8-2 in the finals, he's not going to be the Finals MVP of all those championships because he would have had to sacrifice to allow his teammates to support and lift him up, right? That's the crazy thing about Michael Jordan. He has 6 championships, 2 three-peats. And if you watch those finals, Michael Jordan was literally the X factor in all of those series, guys, which is why he won the MVP in all those series. It wasn't Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman or Tony Kukoc or Horace Grant, even though they had big plays and they played great roles, and those guys were fantastic in a lot of those finals. They played their roles. They were not the X factor. It was always Michael Jordan that had to carry the Bulls offensively, be the leader, be the guy in the moments. It was Michael Jordan. Yo, thank you so much, guys. LT comes through again. Man, you guys are truly humbling me right now, man. And he says, thanks for undoing the programming. No, thank you, LT. And that's why we're here, man, to set the record straight, man. We can't allow them to rewrite the history. I tell you guys all the time, it's very important. You know, Cat Williams said something very interesting some months back when all this stuff was going on surrounding Cat Williams and, you know, all these things. He said something about, and I don't know the word for word quote that he used, but he said something about not allowing the losers to rewrite history, right? And I don't know if I messed the quote up or what he exactly said word for word, but he said something about that. And I think that's very true. We can't allow people like Nick Wright. We can't allow people like Brian Windhorst or Dave McNamara, the Kendrick Perkins, the Shannon Sharps. We can't allow them to rewrite history because they're losers, man. Because they're lying. They're trying to rewrite history by lying. So I've always told you guys, if people have opinions, that's great. We all have opinions. That's great to have an opinion. But you must be able to support your opinion with facts, with evidence. You must be able to explain it so that we can all understand what you're seeing. And I tell you, more often than not, when you hear LeBron James fans speak, when you hear Nick Wright talk, or any of these guys, Colin Cowherd, they can never explain it. So they make emotional statements that have no support. There's no support, no facts to support this stuff. They'll just make up stuff about Michael Jordan. They'll just say all these things about Michael Jordan that, right, the competition wasn't great. That's a nonsensical statement, man. There's no evidence to support that. You can't back that up with evidence. But if I tell you that LeBron James is a flopper, there's evidence to support this. I can back up that statement with video footage by the miles. By the miles. I can back up that statement. If I tell you LeBron James don't play defense, he stands around on defense, I can verify that statement through video footage. We have the evidence of this. The man standing around, not playing any defense. It's verified. I can back up that statement. That's not me lying. That's not me creating a narrative. If they tell me LeBron James is a pass-first player, and then I turn on the TV and I see him take 22 shots, you're not a pass-first player. When I look at the numbers, and you've taken 20 shots a game for your career, you've missed the most shots in the history of the game, you've taken the most shots in the history of the game, you're not a pass-first player. So I can back up that statement. When they say LeBron James could guard 1 through 5, and we laugh and say, no, he can't even guard his position. Once again, we have the video footage to verify. LeBron James didn't guard Dirk Nowitzki in 2011. As a matter of fact, LeBron James couldn't even guard Jason Terry in 2011. But he can guard 1 through 5? No, he can't. No, he cannot. Meanwhile, I literally watched Michael Jordan guard guys like John Stockton, Tim Hardaway, Kevin Johnson, right? Terry Porter. I've seen him guard Magic Johnson. I've seen him guard point guards, shooting guards, small forwards. I've seen Michael Jordan do it at a high level. a high level, Gary Payton. I've seen him do these things. So Michael Jordan took the challenge. He showed up. LeBron James don't take those challenges. He doesn't show up. Did he guard Kevin Durant in the 2017 finals? No, he did not. The man ducked every screen he could, avoided every chance opportunity to play defense. That's what LeBron James does. You guys know the deal, man. Thank you to all you guys out there, man. Right, that's right. Pat Raj. Maddening, that's right. That's right. Listen, man, like I said, we're sticking up, and what we're doing is we're honoring Michael Jordan and the players of his era. We honor them. That's what we're doing here. We're honoring them. No one's exaggerating Michael Jordan. No one's exaggerating any other guys. I've never exaggerated these guys. What I've told you guys, these guys were not perfect, but they gave the effort, man. They gave the effort. That's all I can tell you. And that's all I can say that they had to do for us. I told you, the way that they showed us they appreciated us was by showing up to work. That was the minimum that they could do for us. And they did that, guys. Yo, much respect to all you guys. Hit them quietly games. Thank you very much, man. That's right. They're not honest with themselves. Somos Banditos. Thank you very much, man. That's right. Manager Ginobili, Tony Parker. He couldn't guard Tony Parker in the 2007 finals. Thank you, Somos Banditos. You ran the money with that. Any opportunity that LeBron James had to be, and think about that, guys. It goes back to the beginning of the show. The clutch of LeBron James, how he's not clutch. He could have been clutch on the defensive end many times, but he wasn't like that. Think about Michael Jordan, guys, at the end of the NBA Finals in 1998. He had to steal the basketball from Karl Malone, did he not? So he stole the ball from Karl Malone. That was a clutch play on the defensive end, right? If he doesn't make that play, the Bulls probably don't win that game. There are many plays like that, that great players make, not only on knocking down shots, but playing defense, man. So Somos Banditos, you're right on the money. LeBron James never stepped up and played lockdown defense like that and made, an impactful play more often than not. Now, we could talk about the 2016 finals and the chase down play he had on Andre Iguodala, but have you ever noticed that the LeBron James fans and LeBron James himself, they won't give J.R. Smith any credit for that play, right? Imagine if that was Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan doing that. All you would hear was, oh, Scottie Pippen made that play. It was Scottie Pippen. If Scottie Pippen didn't make him alter the shot, then Michael Jordan couldn't block. That's all we would hear. But no one mentions J.R. Smith. All we hear about J.R. Smith is we get that pose. He couldn't remember there was timeouts. That doesn't fall on LeBron James to know the score, the time, the timeout situation. That wasn't on LeBron James, the leader. Once again, this goes to being clutch and not being clutch in these moments, guys. That's right, Callie Young. Deshaun Stevenson was talking trash to LeBron James in those finals, guys. He was in LeBron James' face. So think about this. LeBron James was getting punked by guys like J.J. Barea, Deshaun Stevenson, Jason Terry. They were punking LeBron James out there. They were literally trash-talking LeBron James. They were clowning him out there. Remember, Jason Terry went and got a tattoo of the championship before they even won it. You think he would do that going against Michael Jordan? I highly doubt that. So you think about that image. LeBron James getting punked by Deshaun Stevenson, Jason Terry, J.J. Barea. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan was going nose to nose with Dennis Rodman, Mark Aguirre, right? John Sally, right? Bill Lane Beer, Isaiah Thomas. True, legit bad boys. True, legit warriors out there. He was going nose to nose with Patrick Ewing, Xavier McDaniel, right? Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, right? He was going nose to nose with Reggie Miller. He was going nose to nose with these guys every single year, never backing down, taking the challenge, right? Going nose to nose with Charles Barkley in the NBA Finals. In those 93 finals, guys, the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls scored the identical amount of points. I believe they both scored 640 points or 500, whatever amount it was. They both scored the exact same amount of points, guys, in those finals. You guys know what the difference in those finals was? Michael Jordan averaging 41 points a game, guys. He had to average a historical amount of points just to beat the Phoenix Suns in those finals, guys. That's how highly contested and good those Phoenix Suns were. And Charles Barkley was sensational in those finals. Yo, Old Head Podcast, what up, man? Thank you for coming through. Refining Visionary, what up? Clarence Bell, what up? That's right, man. He's not impressed with LeBron James. And that's the thing, like, he don't capture the imagination. He don't have the creativity, the flair, the flash. He don't have the swag. He don't have the charisma. He just don't have it. LT coming through with the super chat again. Thank you very much, LT. LeBron got cooked by a 44-year-old at the Olympics. He has no moves. Exactly. These are the things we're talking about. When you talk about not being a clutch time performer at the end of these games, we talk about LeBron James not working on an overall game, and some of you guys mentioned not having a go-to move. That really hurts you at the end game scenarios. Because what do we always know is with the great players? The great players at the end of these games, they know what they want to do, where they want to get on the court. They have spots, right, that they want to get to. They know what they want to do because they practice these kinds of things, guys. And once again, they have the confidence in themselves. And why do they have confidence in themselves? Because they practice. You think Michael Jordan just had confidence because he never practiced? No, these guys have the confidence in themselves because they practice this stuff. They train. Remember Michael Jordan, his teammates talking about oftentimes the practices were harder than games? That's Michael Jordan having these guys prepare in the moment, giving them confidence. So John Paxson can step in and make that shot. B.J. Armstrong, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Luke Longley, Ron Harper, all these guys felt more confident with Michael Jordan. That was what he did for them. Yo, shout out to Trey coming through with the super chat. He says, LeBron never guards the best player on the team. Absolutely. Trey, great point. And these are the kinds of things we talk about. I'm going to end this live stream in a couple minutes, guys. And let's think about this. When we talk about, guarding the other team's best player, you'll often hear people try to knock Michael Jordan. So they'll say, what? Oh, Michael Jordan didn't guard the other team's best player. Yo, classic basketball DVDs, what up, man? But that's not the case. Michael Jordan often guarded the other team's best perimeter offensive threat when it mattered most. But this is how Scottie Pippen assisted Michael Jordan. When they talk about having help, needing help, this is what Michael Jordan needed from a Scottie Pippen. He needed Scottie Pippen to take some of the pressure and the responsibility off of him. You can't have your best player guarding the other team's best perimeter player every single night while being the main offensive threat on your team every single night. It's not going to work. So Michael Jordan needed to carry the Bulls offensively, night in and night out, year in and year out. So you needed guys like Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, the B.J. Armstrongs, the Bill Cartwrights. You need them to play their roles. And Scottie Pippen's role was to relieve Michael Jordan on the defensive end, to give Michael Jordan a break to go on the bench and not let the game get out of hand. That's what Scottie Pippen did for Michael Jordan, man. And they worked that. They had that synergy. But LeBron James never takes that challenge. Never takes that challenge. So in the big moments, Michael Jordan took those challenges. LeBron James never did. Like the 96 finals when Ron Harper went down with the injury, Michael Jordan stepped up and guarded Gary Payton, right? And he locked him up. He made him earn it. That's what Michael Jordan did. Remember, Michael Jordan was like 5 years older than Gary Payton in those finals. Guys, like 5 or 6 years older than Gary Payton in the finals. People don't talk about this stuff. Gary Payton was like, what was he, like 27 or something like that? Michael Jordan was like 32, 34 years old or something, 33 years old or something like that at the time. So Gary Payton was like 5, 6 years younger than Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan was guarding Gary Payton when Ron Harper went down. He stepped up, right? I remember Michael Jordan guarding guys like John Stockton in the finals, right? Giving Ron Harper some relief. This is what Michael Jordan did, right? So once again, these are the facts, guys. LeBron James ain't doing that stuff. He won't even guard his position. Did he guard Andre Iguodala in the 2015 finals? No, Andre Iguodala actually doubled his scoring average playing against LeBron James. Right, we talked about him not guarding Kevin Durant. He couldn't guard Tony Parker or Bruce Bowen, Manu Ginobili in 07. He had a problem when Kawhi Leonard checked back into the game. Remember that look LeBron James had in his face? Oh, man. Oh, it's the look that I have when I see LeBron James fans in my comment section. Like, man, these guys are back again, man. That's LeBron James. You'll never see a true competitor ever make a face like that. I never saw Michael Jordan have that look on his face when Dennis Rodman checked back into the game or Joe Dumars came back in and they were all in his jersey. Never seen those faces because Michael Jordan was a true competitor. Yo, TGK, Demi, what up? Kawhi prime greater than LeBron prime. You know what? That's a great argument right there, and you might be right about that. We all know Kawhi Leonard's two-way play at the peak is much greater than LeBron James' two-way play. Because Kawhi Leonard, to me, his overall offensive game, the mid-range that he had, to me was more crisp than LeBron James. The handle was tighter, right? He had the bigger hands. Now, we know the offensive game I mean, excuse me, the defensive game, not even close. What Kawhi Leonard could do defensively, consistently at that level, LeBron James can't sniff that kind of effort, that kind of level of defense. So I'll give LeBron James the edge, dunking the ball, being a finisher at the rim. I'll give LeBron James the edge over Kawhi Leonard. Shooting the basketball, I'm giving Kawhi Leonard easily. Overall offensive moves in game, post game, give me Kawhi Leonard, man. So yeah, I would absolutely say that's a really good one right there. Look, Kawhi Leonard, if he didn't get that injury in 2017 from Zaza Pachulia, who knows what Kawhi Leonard could have done. And like I said, he was really exposing LeBron James out there, man. That's right, TGK Demi. That's another great point. Kawhi Leonard, man, remember when the Toronto Raptors, they were forming that wall against Giannis? And it was all spearheaded by Kawhi Leonard's defensive effort on Giannis in that series, man. And they were able to beat the Bucks. So you're on the money with that. Meanwhile, they'll tell you LeBron James shut down Derrick Rose, but then the next series, he can't stop Jason Terry. That's called inconsistency, guys. Those are the facts. Did I miss another super here, guys? Forgive me if I missed you guys. Machiavelli comes through. I just saw Portis got suspended for PEDs. Never Labalco, he says. I saw that earlier too, and I saw Victor Wembanyama was down for the season, man. My goodness, man. Yo, hit him up. That's right, Kawhi don't airball free throws. You guys are around the money with that, man. Yeah, so guys, I'm going to shut down this live. Me and AOH are going to try to go live tomorrow for you guys. Hopefully we can do it around our same time, around 12 p.m. Eastern time, I'm hoping. Blood Fox, all you guys out there that came through, like I said, man, all the true supporters of my channel, Somos Banditos, Chip Ferguson, Quietly Games, classic basketball DVDs. I try to give you guys, like I said, the access, man. You guys are always coming through my channel, Cali Young. Thank you so much, guys, like I said, for coming through all the time, man. And like I said, just supporting the channel, supporting the live streams. Hayden Phoenix, Mac Man, Common Sense. Like I said, I'm just truly humbled, guys, that you guys came through. This wasn't I planned a live stream, and you guys really came through for me. We got another one here. Wardell Johnson says, if LeBron is found taking PEDs, does he make the Hall of Fame in your eyes? That's a great question. Now, I'll say this. I'm a huge Barry Bonds fan. Huge Barry Bonds fan. Barry Bonds was one of my favorite baseball players growing up. If you guys don't know, I've told you guys many, many times, I played basketball, football, and baseball growing up, man. Guys like Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, these were Darryl Strawberry. I even liked Jose Canseco, guys. These were my favorite players growing up, and like I said, in the 80s, late 80s into the 90s, playing baseball, and like I said, and I'm playing all these sports and watching these guys. So for me, Barry Bonds, I believe Barry Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, when we talk about baseball versus a basketball, let's say, I think we can all agree that baseball has had, a worse history, let's say, or worse reputation as far as guys, quote unquote, cheating or doing things. Now, I don't know how you guys feel, but in the 90s, when the quote unquote juicing era was going on and all these guys were hitting all these home runs in the late 90s into the early 2000s, to me, that was kind of exciting. Now, we get it what these guys were doing, but when you think about the pitchers were supposedly doing stuff, the hitters were supposedly doing stuff, not saying everybody was or that it made it equal, but it kind of was like, damn, who is not doing it was almost a question you should be asking as opposed to who was doing it. So in that regard, I think that Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame because to me, Barry Bonds, even before the suspicion, this man was a Hall of Famer, man. Barry Bonds is sensational, guys. You can argue Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player of all time, man, or one of the greatest hitters of all time. Just a sensational baseball player, could run the bases, play the field, hit the ball. He could do it all, Barry Bonds. So Barry Bonds, to me, should be in the Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame player. Now, when we talk about LeBron James, if he were to be found suspicion or to be, under these things and, pop positive and, was doing all this stuff cheating, to me, LeBron James falls in the Lance Armstrong category. The Lance Armstrong category. You guys remember Lance Armstrong? Now, the reason why I put him in a Lance Armstrong, almost in a Roger Clemens type of light. Roger Clemens, Lance Armstrong, what did these guys decide to do? When they were accused of something, when they were possibly getting caught out there for cheating or doing something shady, what'd they do? They've tried to flip the script and tear down the credibility of the people that were accusing them. This is what Lance Armstrong did. This is what Roger Clemens did. I watched Roger Clemens' entire trial going against that guy, what was his name? His trainer. I can't remember the guy's name. But I watched that. It was cringe as hell, guys. And once again, Roger Clemens was getting caught out there in lies all over the place, but the man just continued to lie. So to me, Roger Clemens, baseball career-wise, Hall of Famer. But the way that you went about your business, you weren't honorable. I can't respect it, man. So for me, LeBron James is a Lance Armstrong type guy. Remember Lance Armstrong was like trying to sue people civilly for trying to say there was defamation. They were, making up stories about him when he was dirty as hell and he was cheating like a mug. But he tried to blame the other people and tear them down and take away their credibility. He did a classic, defense attorney, that you would do in defending your client and, that's on trial for murder. You had to tear down the credibility of the witnesses. And that's what Lance Armstrong did. That's what LeBron James does. He tries to take away from credibility from people, or he tries to make it seem like, he's so great. So what LeBron James do? He lies. He's a liar. LeBron James is a straight up liar. LeBron James lies for no reason, guys. And that's why one of the reasons why I do not respect him. So if LeBron James got caught cheating, then absolutely hell no, he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Because LeBron James has been lying all this time. You're lying and lying and lying, right? He'll speak up against people while he's doing this shady stuff, right? They promote LeBron James' longevity and durability. So if it came out that it was fraudulent, like we all know it is fraudulent, you're resting load management and stuff, y'all playing defense. But if it came out that he was cheating, then your entire career was, once again, it's a narrative, guys. It's a narrative and a lie. You guys know the deal, man. I don't know what happened with Bobby Portis and why he got, caught or what he got caught taking. But it's more the same with these guys, man. So now Bobby Portis, once again, hurts the Milwaukee Bucks because he's a key contributor to their team. If they're going to make a run, they're going to need someone like Bobby Portis. And you just jacked them up now. Did someone else send a super? I hope I didn't miss you guys again, man. I'm sorry. Like I said, thanks to all you guys, man. But yeah, I don't think Wardell Johnson, I don't think that LeBron James should be in the Hall of Fame, man, if he gets caught out there like that. Because, by all we know, the players are not doing this like that, like the MLB guys were doing it. Like, if you could point the finger and be like, well, these guys are all doing it too. You want to play that game, you could do that in Major League Baseball. I don't think you can really do that in the NBA, even though I've heard people say that, these guys are doing more stuff than we realize. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But LeBron James is being celebrated for longevity and durability. Celebrated. Remember, they talk about LeBron James and he does advertisements for the tonal machine. Do we really believe that LeBron James looks the way he does from the tonal machine? Absolutely not, guys. You guys know the deal, and these are the facts, man. I want to thank you guys, as usual, for coming through my live stream. Thank you for all the support, guys. I am truly, truly humbled, man. Remember, me and AOH are going to try to go live tomorrow, man, and we'll continue these conversations. I got some other things that I wanted to talk about. You guys know the deal. LeBron James is not one of the most clutch players in NBA's history, guys. Not top 5, not top 10 clutch player. Probably not even a top 20 or top 25 clutch player in NBA's history. If we just go off clutch ability, right? Your ability to make shots at the end of games, or your ability to make a key defensive stop, or, be a true leader, right? All these kinds of things. Galvanize the team around them. All this stuff, man. Making the right plays. To me, I'll take a lot of guys over LeBron James, guys. And those are the facts. And last night was more evidence to support what we're saying. So once again, thanks to all you guys out there, man. I am truly, truly humbled. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man.